Hello, YouTube. How's it going? Welcome back to a daily dose of Isaac Baby. We did yesterday's and yesterday's. Oh, if you didn't see yesterday's, let me tell. Dude, I'm not even going to tell you. I'm just going to show you and let the numbies speak for themselves. Nope. What am I doing? Let the numbies. How do I? 258, 42,878. Yeah, it was my first ever. I think. I still haven't figured out if it actually was or not, but I believe it was my first ever 40k daily. I think it was my first ever Hush daily. Also, didn't I say yesterday that 258 was my highest rank? And did I just match my highest rank? I don't remember specifically what it was, but either way, it's got to be like, it's either my highest rank or it's up there. Which is interesting because I've done runs. I've started to learn to min-max a little bit. Like this run, I did shop min-maxing and got like a couple extra thousand out of some high level min-maxticity. And then this one was so good, and I didn't even do anything special. It just was a strong run. And for sure, okay, yeah, I got like 10k points from Boss Rush and Hush. But that was kind of it. I only did those because it was such a strong run. So I'm like lightly surprised it ranked as high as it did, just because I figured that there would have been people who were able to do a little bit more with it in terms of the min-maxing. Because yeah, I didn't really do a great deal outside of just doing the run. But we're back for another one because I am like 90% sure that I will not be able to record tomorrow. So I figured I'd do an Isaac today, and then I can just do a chess, and then have that lined up to come out tomorrow. That was stupid. Obviously we can't pre-jack the Isaacs because it's dailies. But yesterday's was a good one. It was just a good all-round episode. I had a couple of discussion-y little bits to go on. I felt like we talked about a few different things, or a couple different things. We got a great score in the background. All around. High pog-tency on that one, and I'm excited. I'm excited to just, I don't know. I'm not actually excited. I don't really know why I said I'm excited. I'm a little low energy today. You can probably tell. I feel like it comes like if you watch the videos, you kind of tell in the videos when I'm a little higher energy and when I'm a little lower energy. That's a little bit some of the greatest dodging I've ever done in my entire life. Hey, if you boys could begin to die, that would be much appreciated. Okay, let's get the bombs lined up. Okay, this is gonna go. Fuck. Okay, this is gonna go. Poggy. And this one. Okay. You need the dial for the horn, and then we can start. I can get on my rambles. I heard a comment the other day on Yetiness. I was talking about my rambling. I did Stairway to Heaven. And then went on a fair bit in that one. It's what, like it's an 8-minute song, and the video was 28 minutes long. So sometimes I sort of notice when I'm doing the Yetiness videos where I'm like, okay, so this is getting a little bit long. Maybe I should wrap it up. But then I think the commenter made a good point, and he was like, there's kind of like and he didn't say this specifically, but this is what kind of planted the seed to get me thinking. There's kind of like a line between, I think, the two types of audience on the reaction videos, right? I feel like there's the line that just wants to see the main reaction, and like see me listen to the song and see the reaction to the song itself, and then they watch the main reaction, they watch like the main meat of the video, and then they bounce, right? It's gonna be tricky, but let's go for it. We can do this. 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 So there aren't gonna be many devil deals I'd even be happy to take with only 2 hearts, but fuck it, you gotta be in it to win it. And then there's the people who want to hear my discussion part of it. In which case, you know, there are going to be people who watch the reaction and then bounce, and then there are going to be people that stick around. But I don't think there are many people in the middle ground. And there's a limit to that. You know, if it's like a 5-minute song and I'm sitting there for 45 minutes talking about it, eventually people are going to lose interest. But I feel like for the most part, there are going to be those people that aren't so bothered about hearing the quote unquote rambling. They're gonna be out already before it even gets to the discussion. You know what I mean? And then on the flip side of that, yeah, sure, that's fine. On the flip side of that, the people who do want to hear the discussion aren't going to mind the rambling because that's what they've that's what they're there for, right? They're here to hear everything I have to say, and you know, my analysis and my opinions. So I've always been like, and I talk about it a lot, and I think this is why it got to the point that people have started to comment about it, is because it's not the first time that this has come up. We hit buttons on dailies. On dailies, we hit buttons. On dailies, we hit buttons, I believe. Yeah, so this isn't the first time it's come up, and I think this is why he sort of decided to comment on it. And he was like, you know, dude, well, this is what we're here for. The rambling, the people who aren't here for the rambling, they're going to tap out anyway. The people who are here for the rambling, hey, we got an arcade on the next floor, are happy to hear it. And I was like, you know, dude, that's probably a good point. Or his main point was just about, like, don't worry about it, because this is like what you do on your channel. This is your content, and you're here to talk about the music, and if people want to tune into that, they're going to tune in and they're going to listen regardless. I think that's a good point. I think Isaac is obviously, it's a little bit different, because it's not like it's not, you know, I've said this many a time, it's not really like there's an audience to think about beyond, it's like my good friends, Jacob and Joshua, and then that's kind of usually the limit of the audience. Occasionally Maria, and then I mean, you guys, at that point it's just you guys know me, and it's whatever, you know what I mean? Like, you guys know I talk all sorts of shit, so it doesn't really matter in the Isaac too much, and especially because the Isaac's videos like with the Yeti in this video, I guess at the end of the song, and then it's like, okay, now it's freeform. The video will last as long as I talk, whereas with Isaac, it lasts as long as the run lasts, and you have to fill in the run, right? The fuck is that? Oh, it's the game. Jesus Christ! I thought there was like a weird alarm going off. So I've said it many times. You guys know I don't play with sound. Obviously, I leave it on for the video, so it's not just like me talking and nothing else. Usually, I have my headphones like on top of my PC when I record these. For whatever reason, I have them around my neck right now. So when the music started kicking up, then I'm so unfamiliar with the sounds of this game that I genuinely was like, I thought there was like a siren going off outside or something. I could just hear like the shrill strings kicking up, because I had my headphones around my neck. So I could just hear them, and I was like, what the hell is going on, dude? It's like one of those TikToks with Siren Head. Minkus. Anyway, so with Isaac, it's like, it's whatever, ramble away, because you've got to, you know, the run is the run. You've got to fill it somehow anyway, right? Yeah, but it did get me thinking. It did get me thinking. Now, like, you know what? Maybe I guess I got a point. It is what it is. Maybe there's an issue with my rambling, and I always said that that's kind of like a something I've kind of not focused on, but that's kind of, it's like my shtick, right? It's what I do. So it's probably not something I need to apologize too much for. I can't remember where I originally started to get to this point, so I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know what's a good way to like end this little like discussionary thread off, because I can't remember where I started. So I don't know what a good ending is. I'm just gonna do this room now, so I don't have to track all the way back, because I have a feeling this is gonna be not the boss. But if it is, there were 2 rooms the other way, so I don't mind. Honestly, thought I was gonna kill that guy in time. Look down, dude. Sick. Yeah, but I guess today is going to be one of those prime ramble episodes, because I don't really have anything to talk about. I was thinking about, I don't know too much how I want to go into this, because I don't want to be calling people out. I don't want to be calling people out, although I believe that this doesn't apply to, definitely not Josh, definitely not Maria. Probably not Jacob. So I'm probably safe. I was thinking earlier, I went on Twitter earlier. I'm kind of on and off with Twitter. I tend to hit it in phases. I hadn't been on for like a couple weeks, and then I went on and had a scroll through a few days ago, and then I had a scroll through again today, which is quite a lot for me. It's like, so I'm kind of on and off with it. I don't check it very often anymore for the most part. But then part of me feels bad, because like, you know, I want to try and like keep up with like what other people have posted. I don't know. It's a weird. It's whatever. Twitter's Twitter. I'm not really bothered talking about Twitter. I don't check Twitter very often. Although I am trying to check it. Part of why I've started checking it more the past week or so is just because my notifications have been broken on my phone. I talked about this I don't think in a video actually. I talked about this. Like I think I talked about this in a call at some point, or I mentioned it in the group chat, or Genshin maybe. I don't know, man. I know I've mentioned this to you guys at some point, but my notifications on my phone have been fucky for about a month now. So I miss like, and it's not like I don't get any, but I just don't get. It's not like there's certain ones I do get and certain ones I don't get. It's just like sometimes I get notifications, sometimes I don't. So if I don't check, I'm gonna miss, like, I miss messages, I miss mostly for Twitter. It's Twitter and then like Instagram, YouTube. But then some stuff works fine. Messenger. I think Messenger just works because it has the chat head, so it like pops itself up on the screen. So I don't miss Messenger messages, which is good because obviously like the group chat, namely, and then Spink, I guess Maria would be on that, and then my mum, if she were to message me, would be on Messenger, and then I have maybe like a couple of IRL friends who use Messenger. So there's enough going on Messenger that I'm glad that one works at least. But Twitter, it's literally if I get like an account I have notifications on for tweets, or if someone likes one of my tweets, or if someone sends me a DM on Twitter, it's literally like a 50% chance on whether I'm going to even just get that notification or not. So that's why I'm trying to be like, okay, let me try and like check this a little bit more. But anyway, I went on today, and it just got me thinking what Twitter, and first of all, I guess this would be a more natural way to start this bit, to try and lead it on a more relatable comedic note. Hey, everyone wants. I just realised this is a mom run. I didn't even notice, so we definitely should be going way quicker than we are. Hey, everyone's always talking about an edit tweet function. What Twitter really needs is blank. It's like a quiplash bit, and then my answer would be, please, for the love of God, let me mute seeing what people like. And I don't know why it chooses the people it chooses. It seems to there's like a small handful of people I seem to get a lot of what they like. Like, for example, I interact with Josh quite a bit on Twitter. Don't see stuff that I don't see tweets pop up because Josh liked them. I interact with Not So Livid a decent, quite a bit on Twitter. You two are probably the two people I interact with the most on Twitter. As someone who doesn't use a ton of Twitter, but then I feel like that we all use it a similar amount. I would suggest, or I would imagine, in terms of like tweeting and interacting with other tweets and stuff. So it doesn't surprise me that, you know, you guys are probably up there in terms of who I interact with the most, right? For whatever reason, your two's tweets, your two, when I'm scrolling through it, I very rarely see tweets. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen a tweet that's been like 104 albums to go liked this. Or I think maybe once or twice I might have seen one that Josh liked. There are certain individuals so this is what I mean about, like, I don't know exactly how they pick who it is, but it's the same people. And it has been for like as long as this has been a feature. It's been the same like little handful of people that it seems to really like showing me what they've been liking. Maria is one of those actually. For whatever reason she got picked. That's fine. Most of the time it's something political, which is that's fine. Again, my feed is mostly there isn't really a great deal of political discourse on my feed. So it's kind of it's some of this. It's like whatever, and then it's like I don't mind it too much because I don't know. It's kind of interesting to see kind of what's going on, I guess, and stuff like that. Especially living in England where it's not really like covered that much. Every now and then I might see a little tweet and be like, oh. So I see Maria stuff. A lot of the time it's political. That's fine. Sometimes it's like, hey, look at this cute animal, or look at this. Whatever. I'm fine with seeing what Maria likes. However, sometimes it is some individuals who like a lot of what I would describe to be horny content. Now, this is, let me just say, a zero judgment zone. I just realised, what was in the iron room that we left behind? Because I've not been sucking. This is a judgment-free zone. Hell yeah, dude. Oh, hell yeah, dude. I'll suck that. I'm just gonna take a drink of apple juice here, if you don't mind. As long as it's like legal, whatever you do in your spare time, whatever you like on Twitter in your spare time, that's entirely like I'm not. It's whatever. That's fine. I'm not here to judge in any capacity. However, as someone who is not perpetually horny, like, because my thing is, right, because it just gets me thinking. I mean, first of all, I would love to, like, I don't want to have to mute people when their actual accounts don't, like, tweet horniness, you know what I mean? But when it's just like Twitter's like, hey, this person like this person like this person like this, and it's just like, oh, it's an anime girl in a bikini. Oh, it's an anime girl. Oh, look, she's oh, another anime girl. Oh, it's a real human girl, but she's dressed like an anime girl. I don't have Twitter for that. I don't like. I've never. My brain has never quite fully understood the whole like. Just being horny forever, because this is like, okay, so you've got like, I feel like I'm treading like dangerous ground on this topic here. It's really unfortunate to lose the Devil Deal right at the end. That dude, there's so much damage on this run, and we're still gonna miss boss rush because I didn't even realize it was a mom run, dude. But it's possible if we absolutely zoom through, but then it's a question of, do I even want to risk it? This is where we've got to decide whether we go full send or full clear here. That's the decision we have to make on the daily basis at this point. I think this might be a, hey, that was really stupid of me. I just walked into him. So based on how I'm playing this run, I don't feel confident that we're going to be able to beat boss rush, which means it's not going to be a great ranking, but that's fine. That's fine. I don't mind. Because like, if you're someone who, so you get like porn, right? That's fine. You go on Pornhub to be horny, or you know, you go on animegirls.com. I don't know. I don't know, man. Whatever the anime equivalent of Pornhub is. I see those numbers that they do on Twitter, and people are like, "Oh, oh, look at this cute anime girl," and someone's like, "Oh, let me get that source," and then people like put numbers, and still to this day, I have not been able to figure out what the numbers are for. I assume it's like a website that you put the code in, or maybe it's a URL thing, like there's a website that you type the website and then do like / the number. I still have not been able to figure out what they're for. And to be honest, if you know the answer right now, you don't have to tell me. I'm fine not knowing. to be perfectly honest, I'm just saying. I see those numbers. I see those numbers sometimes. And I just think it's hilarious that it's like this weird little cult that like everyone's trying to be in on, but no one actually like talks about. It's like Fight Club. I don't know. I just think it's funny to me. But like, so you got like whatever, like porn stuff or whatever. It's fine, right? And then some people, and I think this also makes sense to me, this makes sense in my head, have, like when people talk about being horny on main, I understand having like a second account for being horny on. You have all your horny content. If you're horny and you want to go on horny Twitter, you go on horny Twitter. But what never has really like made sense in my head is you have, your main account is like all like lewd content, and you've got it all over your Twitter, and you scroll through and it's like, horny, 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 horny. And then you're like, okay, well, that's enough Twitter for today. Let's check out what's going on Instagram today. And then you scroll through Instagram and it's like, horny, 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 horny. And then you go on Instagram and you go on TikTok and it's like, horny, horny, horny. Like, how does your brain not become, like, numb to it, right? I'm trying to say this. I feel like I need to keep emphasizing it because I feel like I'm not always the most elegant in the way I holy shit. How am I pulling off some of these dodges today, and then just like I'm taking damage because I walked into the same enemy twice? You know what I mean? The balance is a little bit off today. A secret room, mayhaps? No, that's fine. For the points, we take it. A secret room, mayhaps? No, that's fine. For the points, I believe we take it. Yeah, I'm not always the most like tactful in approaching these sorts of topics. So I feel the need to just drop a little gentle reminder. And this isn't like I'm trying. I also, you got to ride the line of not being like a hey, no offense, and then saying something offensive. You know what I mean? I don't want to say like, hey, I'm not judging, and then just saying something extremely judgmental. Like, I'm trying not to. I'm trying to be very clear that I hold no judgment over how people live their social media lives. From my perspective, all I was saying is it'd be nice to be able to mute seeing what people like, because I don't want the horny content on my feed. Was kind of the only thing I was getting at, and also because I feel like weird seeing other people's, like if someone's like liking stuff and they're like, hey, I like this, winky face. Do they? Surely they don't want people knowing like what they're enjoying, right? Like I wouldn't want people knowing. You know what I mean? Like I feel like, and I know that this is a thing that people make fun of. NL's made fun of this. The people who go on to hop into Discord calls with their mates and are like, hey, what anime did you jack off to today? That's one extreme that I'm not going into, but I just mean generally speaking, if you're the sort of individual, and I'd love to talk to someone about this. I probably wouldn't actually. I don't know, maybe I would. If there are any what's the name? Kuma? Am I using that right? If there are any Kumas out there, I'd love to interview you one day. I'd love to hit you for an interview. Okay, that is an actual alarm this time. I can hear an actual... Oops, did I click out the window? I can hear an actual alarm this time. I just had to check that that was real. Yeah, that's a real alarm going off on my street. That's fine. It's not mine. Thank God, because I don't know the code. But yeah, like how do you go from Twitter, where it's like so much of your feed is horniness, and then like how do you be in like a casual mood, or like, you know, it's you've just woken up in the morning, or it's like, okay, maybe you've just woken up in the morning, fair enough, but like, you know, you're on your work break, or you're commuting, or you've just got like 5 minutes of downtime to kill, and then you go on and you're just like, hey, here's some casual... I think I've talked about casual horny content before, and how I just don't really kind of understand like casual horniness. Like, dude, this dude is shooting a lot, is what I would say to the type of people we're talking about right now. He is shooting a lot. There's a lot of spiders, brother. I can't even get my hits off on you. Boy doesn't stop shooting. Okay, there we go. A devil deal-less run. So sad. I maybe should be trying a little bit harder for secret rooms here if you want the extra points, but oh well. Oh, speaking of just Jershyn, Josh, I actually got that notification. Poggy, Poggy, Poggy. I'll look after my Isaac. I'll look after my Isaac. First thing, brother. As soon as this, you've just made the top of my to-do list, Winky Face. No, you've just made your top #1 priority. As soon as I'm done, I will open that message. Okay, just gotta do our dodges here. So like, you know, you got a few minutes to kill. You go on. Like, it's not like I am horny right now. It's just like you're just chilling. You're in your normal, you know, daily, you know, afternoon life mindset, and then you go on Twitter and bam, lewd stuff. And you go on Instagram and bam, lewd stuff. And then you go on TikTok and bam, lewd stuff. I just don't understand. I don't know. It's interesting to me. It's interesting to me. And this is why, and I talked about this a little bit. Like, I've talked a little bit about the e-girl thing. How, like, I was doing what I like to do with things. Where I see a bit and then I like commit to it and run with it. But I talked a little bit about this in an episode a little while ago, or recently, or at some point, I don't remember. They all blend together a little bit. About the ego thing, how eventually there reached a point where I just stopped entirely. I just like ended. I just like stopped. I didn't even like phase the bit out, or like I just kind of went, yeah, I think I'm done with this now, because it reached the point where it was like, okay, it's kind of a joke, but then it was like, but is it? And then, and as I said, I've reached a point where it's like, hey, this joke that we've got going on, and everyone's like, yeah, this joke we've got going on. And I'm like, hey, actually, though, just on like a real note, this isn't how people see me, right? Because this is not... I see a tinted rock there. I see it's in a rock there. That's why I pivoted away from it, because it started to border on the a little bit real territory, which is not what I want. Like, it started to border on being like a character trait, which is why I was very quickly like, okay, yep, I'm out. Which is why I eated that, and then people will be like I had like friends making joke about, oh, you know, Reese's TikTok feed, like, oh, my feed's like this, but it's not as bad as Reese's. And I'm like, yo, on the real though, like, putting the jokes aside, my TikTok feed is 90% football, and then there's like, it's like nature talk, and then like there's like Arctic Monkeys stuff on there, people playing the guitar. There is literally, and I mean literally, zero e-girl based content. Like, the TikTok I made where I said, hey, this is the real reason I got a TikTok, and then it says it's e-girls. Like, I can't emphasize enough that was a joke. I'm not saying there wasn't any truth to the joke. The most truthful it got was, I unironic. Well, was it unironic? Was that there was like probably about a month where I did watch Zyka's stream, but even then, it probably over the like I had the Twitch Prime sub, because I thought that because again, you know, using the emotes was kind of part of the thing, right? But I had the Twitch Prime sub for like 4 months, but as long as I had the Twitch Prime sub, I probably spent like maybe 2 hours total, which is still a lot, and it's still, you know, I'm not trying to say like, oh, Poggy. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a run. I might just go down, you know, because I don't remember how much of the floor we had left. I'm not gonna risk it. I would cry if I exited this room and then didn't get the charge in time and couldn't go down to the next floor. Okay, so I was winding my bit down, but I can keep talking now. We've got a couple more floors. Yeah, the Zyka thing. So I spent like I'll own up to it, dude. I was watching some Zyka in my time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to say like, oh, it was all just a joke the whole time. No, I was watching a little bit of Zyka. I'm not gonna say I wasn't. I'll own up to that. But that was kind of like out of like extension. But the beyond that, it was. I mean, you guys know me. You know how much I tend to play up bits. And like what I tend to do, and it's almost kind of like another part of the reason why I've stopped doing that sort of thing. I mean, because it's always just like there's this like line, right, between what's real and what isn't. And I always feel like online, I've always kind of ridden the line between how much is like just being me, and how much is like, ooh, but it's Yeti though. It's like a character, because on YouTube, as a YouTube persona or as a YouTube personality, Yeti hype was always a character, right? Like, if you've watched, and I'm not saying it's a completely different version, it's mostly just an exaggerated version of my actual self anyway. So it's not wildly separated between you know, between me as a person and quote unquote Yeti hype. But if you watch a Yeti hype video, like most of the gaming videos on Yeti hype, it's like, hey, I'm playing a game, this game sucks, I'm gonna make fun of it for forever, for like 20 minutes or whatever. That's the bit, right? But I'm not just like an asshole. You know what I mean? There's a reason why, you know, look at my Brink video. It has like what, 800 likes and like 200 dislikes, because I just ripped into the game for 20 minutes. I actually had fun with it. I had fun recording the video. I played it a little bit off camera and had fun with it. I actually have like relatively positive feelings towards the game. As a person, as me, Reese, speaking right now, I have positive feelings towards that game. It's just in the video, and as a Yeti hype video, it's the bit, right? It's the character that is like, hey, I make fun of things and I take things very lightly and everything's just a big joke. You know what I mean? And then this is why, it's one of the many reasons why I even started uploading a little bit less to Yeti hype is kind of like an online identity crisis. But very much in 2020, I kind of transitioned a little bit away from that, and obviously, you know, people, I mean, you guys know from spending a lot more time with me this year, and by the way, you guys have been such a big part of why I feel, of why I've started doing this, and why I feel much more comfortable to just like be a normal human being on the internet, you know what I mean? but you guys know from hanging out with me is that, you know, like outside of Twitch streams, I go, like, you guys know that I sort of dropped being Yeti everywhere and sort of moved towards kind of preferring just being in Reese in like friendship contexts. And obviously, like in Twitch chat and stuff, like when Josh starts streaming again and it's back to Twitch chat, it'll just be like the, you know, the usual sort of stuff. Obviously, you know, in Twitch chat, I'm Yeti and everything, and that's fine because everyone has a Twitch username and etc. etc. You know, suppose you know when we're playing stuff, when we're playing like Among Us or, you know, Fishbowl or Codenames or Scribble or whatever it is. Why am I suddenly going this way now? That's just sort of what was, you know. And as I say, it's not like it was ever massively separated or anything. It's not like it's not like, you know, you guys have known me for like. It's not like you guys knew me for like a year and then suddenly started to, you know, we had the group chat and stuff and suddenly it's like, whoa, he's actually a completely different person. Nah, I'm the same person. Like it was just like anything that I ever put down to as being like part of like kind of like leaning into the online aspect of it, or it was always just kind of still just me, but maybe just like a little bit of a exaggerated version or like like whatever. Damn, I really want to full clear, but yeah, I don't know if I can be bothered trekking all the way back now for that one room. Although it is a big room, it is a big room. Okay, just be careful because I can barely see the creep here. Why did I get into this? What was I originally talking about? How did we get from the horniness to this? Oh yeah, so that's why I was like, as part of why I pivoted away, because it was like, okay, you've got people being like I remember when SideQuest talked about e-girls he watched, and this is the same SideQuest who was like, has said before that he watches a lot of e-girls and has like linked me e-girls to watch, that when I'm kind of like, hey, I appreciate it and I get the bit, but also I don't actually really like care and I'm never gonna watch this person. No offense. But then also when I remember what he said in chat was like, oh, you know, he like recommended one and was like, well, she's tasteful though. She's nothing like what Yeti watches. I was like, brother, what do you think I actually watch? Like, what do people think of me as a person? And I remember Krotus talking about his TikTok on stream once, and about the stuff that he gets on his Instagram feed and his TikTok, and he was like, again, and he was like, but it's not anywhere near as bad as what Yeti watches. And I'm like, brother, my TikTok is like football, and there's nothing, like literally nothing at all on my, like, horny on my TikTok in any capacity. I'm not actually like that as a person, which is why I like immediately cut the joke off, because people, and you guys, like I said, you guys know me. So you guys know what like I'm actually like as a person. But I start to worry that kind of people who like don't necessarily know me as a person and only really know like the quote unquote character of that I portray, or like the persona that I portray, start to see me a certain way, which is not actually how I want it to be seen. I don't have to worry about like I said, I don't have to worry about you guys seeing me that way because you guys actually know me, right? And like I said, there's some stuff that's like real. Like, okay, the e-girl stuff also led to the whole me being a simp joke. Which is, that's fair enough. That makes sense. that one's applicable and is absolutely fair enough. Now, it started from Zyka, right? Which was like at least partially a joke, and then that's why, you know, when I kind of was like, okay, yeah, now it's getting a little bit real, so I'm gonna pivot. But Spink is probably all I really need to say, which is obviously, again, you guys know me. You guys know that is, that very real. That isn't a bit. That isn't a bit. That's like I actually. I mean, yeah, I don't need to go into that in a video, but again, you guys know what the situation is there. So that simpiness makes sense, and again, that simpiness is for Spink and Spink only, and just I mean, yeah, just Spink. I don't know what you say anymore. It's Spink. It is what it is. but then outside of that, so that's like an element that I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But then there are other elements to where it was like, okay, how do I want? like, how do I want people perceiving myself, I guess. And that's why certain things is like, okay, dude, I can lean into a bit, and I can go with it, and it could be fun and funny and stuff. But then eventually it's like, okay, there's a lot going on in this room. Reaches a crossover. Okay, so there's a lot going on in this room is the thing. Yeah, I'm kind of back myself into a corner over there. This has been like the most chaotic train of thought ever. And I started today's episode in my head going, I have nothing to talk about today. Look where we've ended up, I guess. But yeah, so it's kind of, it's happened again. I can't remember far back enough in the thought train to know where to go next with it. I keep like losing track of where in my own thoughts I am in this one, which is why it's almost like it's interesting when I don't have something to talk about and then I'm going into a topic, because it can be so chaotic. But also it can be difficult because sometimes if I like have something that I know I'm going to talk about that day, I already know my thoughts on the situation, so I know it's not like I like think about what I'm going to say, but yeah, like I said, like I know my thoughts on it already. Whereas with this, it's like it's so like out of the blue. I'm like trying to like put my thoughts out, but also like articulate them in a way that makes sense to if someone was watching this video and was hearing this that isn't inside my own brain and doesn't know exactly what I'm thinking. I'm trying to like articulate them in like a logical way that kind of makes sense to you know, to anyone listening. So I was saying, what was I saying? And the eagle thing's funny actually, because I've been editing this Stardew Valley video that I recorded in, I haven't actually checked, but I believe February of last year, so just under a year ago. And that was the video that the TikTok is from, where, so obviously in Stardew, it asks you what your favourite thing is. And I didn't have anything to put. So I was like, and the point that, again, it was a Yeti ad video, so I was trying to be funny. And it was just like a nice chill, the point of the Stardew video, and I say this at the start of the video, it was just like a chill, like whatever, I'm just playing some Stardew type of video. But it was still like, you know, I'm trying to crack jokes, I'm trying to, you know, be a little bit entertaining or whatever. So yeah, I took the opportunity to my joke with favorite things, and this was right. This is, like I said, this is February, so this was right at the peak of the e-girl jokes. Okay, I'm itching my face. Don't shoot me. Oh, very polite. Very polite. The peak of the e-girl joke, so I was like, oh, this will be funny because that's kind of the bit we're in right now, and I can put favorite things, and then it'll be funny, and then I put e-girl, and obviously I made the TikTok out of it, which I still think is funny, by the way. I think it's a funny talk. But then I was like, when I was editing it, I was watching it back, editing it like a year later, where I'm like fully like, hey, we don't talk about that anymore. Well, no, we can talk about it, obviously. But where I'm fully like, hey, that was a bit that I regret committing to as hard as I did, because I feel like it's had a long-lasting impact on how people that don't really know me that well perceive me. And so I kind of regret that bit a little bit. But when I was editing it, I was like, okay, it's still funny, but then I ended up being like, I didn't want to cut it out because I still thought it was funny, but I ended up putting some text on the screen that was like, I think I just said something like, I've changed, it was a long year, I'm sorry, because I didn't want to be like, first of all, if the video is coming out like this week, I didn't want people to still think I'm like that, or was being like that, or whatever. But then also I wanted to kind of like joke on the fact as being like, hey, I know this is rough, but I promise I'm not like this anymore. So it's kind of funny to look back on, but at the same time, it's like, okay, there's some stuff. I don't know. You making YouTube videos, you've always got to sort of ride this line with how you present yourself, of being like, do you just like be completely yourself and just let it be whatever, or do you want to like try and be a bit of a character? Because I maintain that for the most part, people are very rarely entirely their true selves, or not them true selves, or not being themselves, but as in like you kind of naturally, without even really thinking about it, like if you're making a YouTube video, you're trying to be entertaining, right? The point is you're trying to, so you always are going to like spice yourself up, or it's like we were talking about The Crowning yesterday, how we were saying how it's a real story, but they kind of up the drama for dramatic effect. They spice it up a little bit because it's a TV show, so they have to. I feel like in the same way, if you're making a YouTube video, you're trying to be entertaining, but no one's like you could take like a streamer and you watch their streams who's like a normal, you know, they're themselves, they don't play a character or anything like that. But then if you talk to them like outside of a stream, when they're not trying to be entertaining, then, you know, they're gonna be like a much more like natural, chill person or anything, right? I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I don't know if the same feels the same for me. Like I don't know. You know, like Josh or Jacob, who like you guys have seen so much of my Isaac. And my Isaac are probably like the least in terms of versus something like Yetiness or versus something like Yeti Hype, where I put the pageantry on a lot more. The Isaac are definitely a lot more just talking and a lot closer to just being myself, but I've still got to try and put that entertaining spin on it. So I don't know if you guys who have like who have like seen my videos but have also hung out with me like outside of that, like Josh in particular has hung out with me a ton, you know, obviously over the years, but obviously more so in 2020 than ever, right? Because of all the, as I said, you know, all the stuff we played and blah blah blah. So I don't know if that is kind of, if you guys can see that or like see how maybe I'm a little bit different. I don't know if I'm the same is what I'm saying. If I'm maybe a little different to hang out with than I am in my videos. But I feel like that's just kind of a thing. If you're making a video, you naturally put a bit of sauce on it. Put a bit of sauce on yourself. Put a bit of sauce on you know, you're trying to be entertaining, right? I've done it again. I've forgotten what my original point was. What was I saying? But I feel like oh, okay, that's what I said. I feel like there's sort of this like a little bit of a line of being like, okay, you want to try and be entertaining, but you've also got to be a little bit conscious of like how you present yourself, and obviously you're putting yourself out there for people to consume your personality and everything. So it's like you want to, I feel like you've always got to kind of in the back of your mind be aware of that. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. I feel like I could talk all day, to be honest. Like, I genuinely feel like I could just keep talking right now. Partially because I felt like I digressed so many times. I don't even know where I was going with this, or what my point is, or what a natural end to this would be. Therefore, I probably could just keep tacking on another branch, another branch, another branch. But anyway, so that's why I think Twitter needs a mute button for likes. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Look, listen, I appreciate you guys. It was an interesting one, because again, I literally had nothing to talk about until I hit record, and then suddenly that episode happened. But I wanted to do one today because, as far as I know, and I never really can tell until the day, but I'm like 90% sure I will not be able to record tomorrow. So I figured I'd throw an Isaac's up today. I will now go and record a chess, and I will upload that chess tomorrow. A little bit of a teaser for tomorrow's video. It's going to be something a little bit different. It's not going to be 10-minute chess, and that's all I'm going to say on that. Although actually, I was ready to like really go for it, and now I'm sat here and I'm about to record it, and I'm like, yo, I'm kind of tired, so maybe I'll not do it. I don't know. We'll see. Either way, so right now, unless something changes, this will be today's video, and then there will be a chess video and tomorrow, and no Isaac tomorrow, and then Thursday. Again, Thursday, maybe I'll record 2 chesses right now, because I actually couldn't record last Thursday, and I didn't know until the day. So maybe I will record a couple chesses right now. Okay, either way, so maybe there'll be no Isaac for a couple days, but there'll be chess for a couple days. I don't know, we'll see. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you all. Thank you guys thank you as always for just like indulging me. Is that how you say that phrase? For just for anyone who's hung out in today's episode and just listened to me talk a little bit of shit. I really do appreciate it. Okay, I appreciate you all. I'll see you all in the next one. Later, guys. Bong.